Hello everybody, I want to go over my quad here and my build. Also want to talk about some hidden hidden to me, some camera details here I've not heard anyone else talk about, and it become an issue on my build, and I want to talk about that. First off, this is my Armatan Marmot build. Let me see if I can get a close up here. I'm really tickled with the build. Some of the features is Kakute F7 flight controller with the 65 amp Tico 32 ESCs, all metal ESCs, the Adel HV V2 VTX, Runcam Micro Eagle, and got the a buzzer. I mounted her in the bottom. It's flush, and run the wires and extended it up to it. But I'm really loving this frame. Absolutely love this frame. Oh, and the motors are the Vort 3 Hype Train 2207 2650 kV. This is my antenna here. It mounts on the back of my GoPro mount, so I've got all that off right now doing a video. But I've got the bolts removed here out of the plate. Let me remove the top plate and show you the inside of the build. I'm running the R9 Slim Plus or R9 Slim Plus long range receiver on this. I don't do long range with this one, but it's nice to have, you know. I don't want to fail safe either and tear it up, so I wanted all the added protection I could get. Right here on the VTX, I took a small piece of studio mic wind stopper. It goes on a microphone. Cut it and trimmed it, and then took a soldering gun and melted a little hole, like a little pocket, where it would slip right down over that element that's on the board. And then I took just a little bit of super glue and a paintbrush and painted around the outside metal of that crystal that's on the board. Then I just slid this right down over it, and the audio was just unreal on this quad. This Adel V2 has got some of the best audio I've ever heard on these VTXs. But what I was getting at, this camera, okay, there's two versions of this camera. I don't know if anyone knows this, because I didn't. If I would have got the right camera, all I would have had to done right here was mounted the TX and RX camera control straight to the camera and had full camera control through my controller. Now with this camera, I had to run a single wire back here to the M5 pin and then reroute that in Betaflight to configure it to do camera control, which it works really good. It works awesome, but it would have been a lot easier if I could have done this and wouldn't have had to fool with no Betaflight CLIs and all that. This micro camera, what a lot of people don't know, and I'm not even for sure if, like, RDQ or Get FPV, I'm not even for sure if these people realize there's two versions of this micro camera. They look identical. There's no difference whatsoever. Both features are all the same, except one is digital and one is analog. I've got the analog one, and the way to tell them apart, the analog one on the back will say ground and menu. That's for the OSD features. The digital one will say TX and RX. That's where you just run the two wires to this F7 and it's done. You're done. It just works already. But if you've got an analog camera, that's where you have to come out of the menu pin and go to M5, which is Motor 5, reroute it, and reconfigure it through Betaflight to do the time delay and everything for the camera. So if I would have ordered the proper camera, the digital camera, and that's what I wanted to bring this to light, so someone else doing a build can get the digital camera or whatever. Now, let me see if I can get here where you can see the camera. I hope you can see that. Runcam Micro Eagle. And as far as the quality of the camera, it is just amazing. I really love it. Some of the best wide dynamic range. In my personal opinion, it's better than the Runcam Swift Rotor Ride Edition. That has been my favorite camera. But as far as up to date, this quad blows me away. Flies better than anything I've got. I'm running 4.0. I'm running the 10.51 configurator. It runs awesome straight out of the box. I've got a flight video of my maiden. It's technically not my first maiden. I hovered it, done some line of sight, and made sure my motors wasn't going to heat up 10-15 seconds at a time. Just some small bursts, just line of sight. Then when I seen it was going to be okay, I done a maiden, and that's what you've seen the video of. That's technically the first FPV maiden. But I've got just a little bit of bounce back on flips, and that's it. It just flies. It's so locked in, feels really good. I love it. But I just want to make this video about that camera so anyone else that's getting ready to do a build, and I'll post my at the end of this video, I'll post my all my specs to this quad, all the parts that I used, the total cost, and I got everything. All this come from RDQ, so I'll post all this in case someone else wants to do a build. Even this braid stuff right here, it all come from RDQ. They're really getting, you know, such a good stock on just anything you can imagine. First seen another guy. If you look up Armatan Marmot Elegance, I looked at that guy's quad for about 10 minutes and I knowed. I mean, it just hit me and it sunk in. I am buying a Marmot and I am doing a build like this. That was one of the prettiest quads I'd ever seen. And I'm tickled with this. This is the cleanest quad I've ever built. And everything is just so easy to get to. Like if you want to manually change the channels on the VTX, boom, it's right there in your face. Right here you can visually see what channel and everything it's on, plus in your OSD. All the features and everything, even on the flight controller, so easy to get to. Boom, you can go right through there and mash the bootloader button. You can do whatever you want. Even the SD card right there is just so easy to get to, you know, for black box logging. And this just beautiful frame that now this camera, oh, I meant to mention this a lot of people is making a big deal about this camera size option on this frame. It's no big deal at all. Look at mine. I mean, all I done was just barely took a pair of pliers. It's hard to get where I can see this on video. I can see it, but I'm not sure if you all are. I barely took a pair of flat pliers and clamped right where the bolt hole goes in the camera, and then I just held it in my hand before mounting this bar on your quad, and you just barely bend it up just a little bit, not hardly 1/8 of an inch. You do your other one, and then you hold them side by side, the two plates side by side, and make sure you got them both bent equally. Hold them up to one another, make sure they're just both bent equally, and put it on there, and it is just dead perfect. The perfect camera alignment, and it sits way back in there. I mean, you can look at the clearance. Look at the clearance there from the camera. A whole lot of clearance. And I don't get any frame visibility in my camera. And even on the GoPro, the props are set so far back, you don't get any props in view of the frame. This is probably the best thing I've ever flown. Best that I've ever built for sure. The best I've ever flown. I really like Betaflight 4.0. I know a lot of people has been having problems with it, but It's worked just unbelievable for me. So take care. Hope you enjoyed. Just wanted to go over maybe this pass this information on. Somebody else wanting to do a build, you'll know about that camera feature now, and it's so nice not having to fool with that little thing, putting it in the back, and everything on this quad is controllable through my Tyrannus X9D now. The VTX got smart audio on this, got full camera control. I mean, it's just booked. That F7 is just so crazy. And I'm running 5% on the CPU, running D-Shock 1200. But take care. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you get to see some more footage of some flying of this frame. Thanks for watching Wick and FPV.